I'm going to throw a piece that I'm going to decorate later with that the flowers, like I mentioned a few times before, that I'd show you how to do those. So I'm going to throw this real fast. That is, I'm at least going to have the video part short on this. Now what I think I'm going to do is just trim the foot a little bit, just with this wooden tool. And then I'm going to just kind of, I want the top to be asymmetrical. That is, I don't want it to be perfectly round and smooth. So I'm going to just kind of pull it with my finger like that. This is a Gorilla porcelain. It's not the same porcelain I normally have thrown with on the videos. And I'm going to leave it like that for now, and then later on I'm going to come back with a sponge after it's set up and smooth all the real rough edges off. And finally, kind of push in the bottom, and here's, I'm going to oval it like that. There, so that's what it looks like. Right, here I am in the studio today, and this is the vase that I threw yesterday. You can see that I kind of pulled the top with my fingers. I'll round that off a little bit more. I've actually wiped it a little bit, but I'll do that a little bit more. All I did is take my fingers and pull up on the clay like that, pinch it. So I'm going to be making some flowers, show you how to do that. Here are the tools that I use, real simple. There's 3 different sizes of dowels there, each one getting a little bit thicker. And a pen tool, and I've rolled out some of the parts. There's little balls that you can see they're kind of graduated in size. They get smaller as they go down. And then there's a few leaves that I've made. I'll show you how to do those too. And there's some stems, the long pieces of clay. And then there's some other different type of leaf. I'll show you how to do that as well. So let me get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just wipe this down like I said. Wipe the rim down just to round it off. I don't want it to be even, of course, and this has been oval, as I showed you. I paddled it a little bit as well, and so that thing's ready. Put that aside for right now. The first thing I'll show you how to do is to make a leaf like that. And what I do is I take and roll out the clay, the porcelain, in kind of a football shape, a little bit more tapered at one end than the other end, like that. You can see that. Right? And then I start squeezing it with my thumbs together like this. Hope you can see that. Go down, and the thumbs being right next to each other like that forms this line going down the center. That's the inner part of the leaf. Kind of the vein going down there. And so I'm doing that over and over again, thinning the leaf out as I go. Keep the top pointed. Do different shapes of leaves, obviously. Okay, and then when I get it as thin as I think I want it, more or less, and I'll do one last push with my fingers. And this is a real definite push. So now I do both of them at the same time, both thumbs at the same time, and I push in, move down, in. Actually, I usually step down like that. Make sure you don't go over that line. I hope that shows up on the video, but then that gives you kind of veins going out plus a central vein going down like that. It's pretty simple. The main thing, if you want it to look good, the leaf has to end up to be thin. If it's thick, it just looks clunky. So there I've got 4 of those kind of leaves. I'll show you how to do now the other type of leaf, this long one here. I don't know if you can see, but it's got a design going up and down the thing. So I'll show you how to do that. So I take a little bit of clay here. I assume you can do this, the stems. That's just rolled out. It's just a little thin coil. I want a slightly damp surface, but not wet. But it has to be nice and smooth. So I roll this out into a long tapered coil like that. You You can see it's thin at this end and at this end, and then a little thicker in the middle. But it has to be nice and relatively smooth. Well, actually, if it weren't, it would just give you a different shape is all. Then I take a stick like this, and it's got real sharp edges on it. It's nice and flat and sharp and smooth. Smooth here. Then I take that and just place it on top of the coil that I rolled out, and then push on it, kind of roll it a little bit, pull it up, and then I take the sharp edge of this. Some of these edges are better than others, and just continually push down on the thing and put an impression the length of that, what once was a coil of clay, but now is a leaf shape. So it's that simple. And usually one end is a little more pointy than the other, and that's the one that I usually use as the top. I might take the bottom part here and roll it a little bit like that to form a stem. Whoops, that broke off. And then I can continue, I can add a little bit more stem to it if I want. So I'll place
You'll want to do these things in sequence, the stems first, and then the long leaves second, and then the shorter leaves third, and then finally the flowers. And I'll show you how to make the flowers in part 2.